Time now for PFT on Yahoo Sports. Peter King, Mike Florio, some of the big stories in the National Football League. Even though Dak Prescott is injured and won't play again this season, his situation hovers over the Cowboys, and everything about the Cowboys hovers over the National Football League. On Monday, team COO Stephen Jones said that Dak Prescott will be the quarterback for the Cowboys next year and into the future, even though the Cowboys may have a prime pick where they could select a Trevor Lawrence or a Justin Fields, who knows? Do you believe this conclusive and clear position taken by Stephen Jones that Dak will definitely be the guy, and there's no way they would consider taking one of the top rookies if they're in position to do so, Peter?
I think it is most likely that Dak is their guy, and there's absolutely no way, if you're Stephen Jones and you're on a radio show in Dallas-Fort Worth, that you can even open the window a crack to the fact that we might take somebody in this draft if we've got the fourth pick. Now, look, there's a lot that's going to happen between now, and January 3rd, when the Cowboys will play their final game of the year, theoretically. And a lot can happen. The Cowboys can end up anywhere from 2-14, which I think is highly unlikely, to somewhere in the vicinity of 4 or 5 wins, in which they would still have a top 10 draft pick, but it wouldn't probably be in position to get one of the great quarterbacks. The Cowboys have to consider drafting a quarterback at a reasonable price for the next 4 years. If they have that chance, they would be not doing their due diligence, Mike. But in my opinion, they're not going to be in position unless they want to do something and pillage future drafts. It's going to be very hard for me to think that the Cowboys will be in position to take one of the great passers.
Not that anything anyone connected to the NFL says is ever binding. I still don't like sending the message that the option is off the table, because if they do end up in position to get Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields at the top of the draft, and they're thinking about trading because they'd rather pay Dak Prescott $37 million for one more year than Trevor Lawrence $37 million or less for 4 years
for 4
combined.
Years.
Yeah, even if they choose to stick with Dak, you want to be able to negotiate a potential trade, and your best trade leverage is the Joe Burrow trade leverage the Bengals had, and it was real. We want the guy. If you can convince people you want Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields, maybe you get a hell of a lot more in a trade than you otherwise would. So I'm just not a fan of foreclosing your potential paths you could take, even though you do have to say all the right things about Dak, especially since he suffered that gruesome injury and there's a lot of sympathy that's flowing his way. I just can't process the disconnect between all the things that Cowboys executives will say about Dak Prescott and their chronic failure to write the check necessary to show that they truly believe the things they say, Peter.
Yeah, I agree, Mike. I think that, first of all, Stephen Jones is in an absolute no-win position. As I say, you can't leave the window open a crack. However, even though you can't leave the window open a crack, I think behind the scenes, with his dad and with the people who run the scouting department, I think you have to tell everyone in the building, prepare for all eventualities, because you simply don't know. And Mike, this is more difficult than just saying Trevor Lawrence 37 for 4 versus Dak Prescott 1 year for 4. This is also how else you are going to affect your salary cap, what veterans you're going to have to jettison if you agree to bring Dak Prescott back. This is not only a quarterback question.
Yeah, especially because that $37 million number applies no matter how low the cap goes next year. They have to absorb that number to keep Dak around. All right, that's it for us. We'll see you next time for more PFT on Yahoo Sports. Have a great day.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.